Interview with Stephen Ray, the author of Finn McCool's Football Club, The Birth, Death, and Resurrection of a Pub Soccer Team in the City of the Dead.
Okay, we're here in the Pelican offices with our author, Stephen Ray. Hi, Stephen, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. And we've got your fabulous book sitting right next to you, Finn McCool's Football Club. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
The book follows me whenever I emigrate to the States in my mid-30s. My wife and I live in New Orleans. And I'm a big soccer lover, love to play, love to watch. So I find an Irish bar in mid-city called Finn McCool's. So the book tells how I start going to Finn McCool's to watch the English soccer games every week, and we form a team, a pub soccer team, and we start playing. The first half of the book also deals just with what it's like whenever you're someone like myself from the United Kingdom who comes to live in the States, and the differences there are between home and specifically New Orleans, which is a place in itself and the rest of America. So about halfway through the book, Katrina hits, and it's been fairly light-hearted up till then. It's really, hopefully, fairly humorous. But once Katrina hits, then it follows the story of the people who go to the pub and the soccer players, and what everyone has a story. What happens to them? Some of these guys didn't evacuate, so they had to get airlifted off roofs. Other guys had stayed in the city and swam out past bodies, and it basically follows then the lives of the pub regulars, the soccer players, during Katrina and after Katrina, as they filter back to the city and discover what a surreal place the New Orleans is in the aftermath of Katrina.
Wonderful. Well, it's a great book, and it certainly covers a lot. It's hard to sum up in just a few words, so that was a great little summary, because of course it's not just about soccer, it's not just about New Orleans, it's not just about the bar, so it's kind of about everything. Have you been getting some positive reactions from the guys that you chronicled in the book?
Yeah, but most of the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive, and we've also got some really good reviews, which I'm very happy with, because like you said, I know one of the problems with this book is trying to tell people what it's about, because the name of it is Finn McCool's Football Club, which relates to the soccer team, and the soccer in the book, but it's only a little part of it. Like you said, it's about the differences between the United States and where I'm from, Northern Ireland. It's about why people go to bars. It's about why people hang around with people with a shared background. It's about why people live in New Orleans, especially after Katrina, because for a lot of us, it would have been easy to leave New Orleans. Just immediately after, this was a very hard place to live, and the fact that I think out of the 22 squad members we had on the roster, I think something like 20 of them actually did come back and rebuild their lives here. So it does exactly like you said. It hopefully encompasses a whole range of things, and there's a whole range of tones as well. A lot of the book is light-hearted, but then I also perhaps look at things like the race issue here in the South, and the whole way of living here, which is a lot more serious. Never mind the reaction to Katrina as well.
Great. And I know that they threw a wonderful launch party for you at Finn's, and you've done some other events at some pubs and bookstores and everything. You have some events coming up outside of New Orleans?
Yes, we're going to Baton Rouge next Friday, and then we're going to DC to do an event there. I guess this is maybe a first for Pelican in that I suppose they don't do many book events at bars, but any excuse at all. And hopefully this could be a road that can be explored at some stage. But yeah, the launch party at Finn's was wonderful. It's a fabulous bar. I'd urge anyone who has never been to Finn McCool's to check it out. And the three people who own that have been so supportive of the book, and hopefully that was one of the biggest fears and hopes that they actually would enjoy the book as well.
And I know that the rights have been sold for it to be published over in the UK. What do you think the reaction over there is going to be like?
Well, I'm hoping. Whenever I wrote this book originally, it was a UK and an Irish audience I had in mind, a readership. So I'm hoping it's going to do well over there. I think in some regards it has a bit of an advantage in that the whole pub culture is so much more ingrained at home. Also soccer, as you know, is the biggest, by far the biggest sport over there. So hopefully we have an inbuilt audience. I guess that the difficulty that we are going to have over in the UK and in Ireland is the Katrina thing. I think it's in some ways how the British and the Irish fared in this city in Katrina will hopefully be interesting to them. On the other hand, they just don't have, it's just not as in the forefront of their minds like it is over here, and they're less aware of exactly the devastation and what Katrina did to this part of the world.
Wonderful. Well, I know you've done a lot of writing before, but this is your first book. How does it feel to have it published and out there? And
it's wonderful. I mean, I'm so proud of it. I think the cover, and again, I know that was a very hard subject and something that had to be looked at very long and hard, but I think the cover is fabulous. It kind of has the soccer element there. It has the New Orleans element. I think that has really helped sell the book. I'm so pleased to finally, like you said, I've been writing more than 20 years now, and to finally have a book published, and it's a big thrill to be able to go into a bookstore and see your book on the shelf. It's great to have people come up to you and say, "Oh, I read your book. It's wonderful. I really enjoyed it." I'm sure there's going to be people that come up to me and tell me it's the biggest load of trash that they've ever come across, but that still happens. So no, it's wonderful, and I'm really delighted that people all over the world can read my book.
wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Stephen. And people can, of course, find some more information about your book at pelicanpub.com. And you've got a website up now as well, is that right?
It's stephen-ray.com, stephen-rea.com.
Perfect. Thanks very much.
Thank you.